Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
All right, we want to welcome everybody to AY. It's our Black History AY, sponsored or done by Ephesus Seventh-day Adventist Church. So we want to welcome everybody from Fairhaven, everybody from Ephesus, and just everybody who decided to join us tonight. We are live, so any little mistakes you see, just charge it to my head or my heart or however the saying goes, but we gonna make it work. So today we're gonna find out a little bit about Black history. Of course, we are going to, give me 1 second. We're going to talk about who am I, what am I, and where am I? And pretty much what we're going to do is jump around through some different people that have different artifacts, different Black history people they may talk about, and also they may talk about places they have been. So without that, we're going to start AY as if we were at the church. We're going to attempt to do the AIM model pledge. And also, yeah, please type in the chat. Let's talk while we watch AY. Let's get some chat going. I don't see nothing in there right now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send the first chat. At least on the, I don't know, I think I'm on the Ephesus YouTube page. But if you're on Fairhaven, do the same thing. So we're going to go ahead and start. Unless something new happened since the last time before I was at church, I could not find the correct AIM motto and pledge unless it has changed. So let's go ahead and start with our AIM motto and pledge. Let me share my screen again, and we'll get the rolling. Now, as you can tell, oh, let me back up. I'm the DJ tonight. That was the theme of it. I was going to be the DJ. So I will be the DJ. So you may see some turntables on the screen. That was my theme. You may never hear music again, but you definitely will see the turntables. So there we go. Let's see what we can do. And we can do the AIM motto and pledge all together once we see it on the screen. And of course, you'll just be doing it at home by yourself. And I'll say it out loud. And if it's wrong, put it in the chat and let me know where I went wrong. The AIM, the Advent message to all the world and my generation. The motto, the love of Christ compels me. That was a little different than what I had. And the pledge, loving the Lord Jesus, I promise to take an active part in the work of the Adventist Youth Society, doing what I can to help others and to finish the work of the gospel in all of the world. So that is our aim, out, and pledge. A little different than what I usually see and what I had at the church, but that's what we're going to roll with today with our aim, motto, and pledge. Now, as far as scriptures, I did do a little homework trying to find some scriptures that had something to do with Black history. And we're not going to quote or read all these scriptures. So if you want to write them down, screenshot it, take a picture of it. But what I found for family was Psalms 127, 3-5. And what I found for faith was Matthew 6, 31 through 34. And then what I found for strength was James 1, 1-8. And then with courage, I had Joshua 1, 1-9. And I will put this one on the screen about freedom, which was 2 Corinthians 3:17. So I'll put that on the screen. I know you guys are at home, but feel free to quote this as is on the screen. Amen. So now what we're going to do, we're going to be jumping around from place to place. I'm kind of going to be like the DJ. You're going to see some people, you may know them, you may not, but I'm going to start first. Okay. So I'm going to play a video about someone from Black history that I always looked up to because I was a basketball player. So the video is going to have a little sound at first, then the sound will cut off, and I'll tell a little bit about them. The video is 4 minutes long, but I'm going to cut it at about 2 minutes. Okay. So we're going to roll over to that video next.
I don't need any validation. I played, and I played. And that trip and that experience was enough to last me for a lifetime.
So Bill Russell was born William Felton Russell. He was born February 12, 1934. He was an American former professional basketball player who played center for the Boston Celtics of the National Basketball Association. He was a 5-time NBA Most Valuable Player and a 12-time All-Star. He was the centerpiece of the Celtics dynasty, and he won 11 NBA championships during his 13-year career. Just think about that. He won 11 championships in 13 years. Russell went to college at the University of San Francisco, where he also won 2 consecutive NCAA championships in 1955 and 1956. He was also the captain of the gold medal winning United States basketball team in the 1956 Summer Olympics. Although Russell never averaged more than 19 points per game, although Russell never averaged more than 19 points per game or shot as much as 47% any season in any era, many regard him as the greatest basketball player of all time. He was 6'10" with a 7'4" wingspan. Now, Russell played in the wake of Black pioneers such as Earl Lloyd, Chuck Cooper, Sweetwater Clifton, and he was the first Black player to achieve superstar status in the NBA. He also served as a 3-season from 1966 to 69. He was the player and the coach for the Boston Celtics, and that made him become the first Black coach in North American professional sports, and he won a championship. In 2011, Barack Obama awarded Russell the Presidential Medal of Freedom for his accomplishments on the court and in the civil rights movement. And he was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame and the College Basketball Hall of Fame. He was selected to the NBA 25th anniversary team in 1971 and the NBA 35th anniversary team in 1980, and named one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history in 1996. In Russell's honor, the NBA renamed the NBA Finals Most Valuable Trophy in 2009. And who am I? That was Bill Russell. And I'm still here. I lost my screen. That's what happened when you do stuff. Where'd it go? All right, there we go. So that is kind of how tonight is going to go. But I wanted to start off with Bill Russell, one of my favorite players of all time, even though he played for a team I never really liked, which was the Boston Celtics, because I kind of grew up as a Detroit Pistons fan. And also I like Philadelphia. So of course we didn't like the Boston Celtics, and also like the Lakers with Magic Johnson. But that was before Bill Russell's time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the party started. What we're going to be doing next, we're going to be jumping out to Saginaw Township, maybe even Freeland. And we're going to go ahead and start, and we want to welcome to the screen Gary and Aline Loster. And remember, I'm the only DJ.
Hi, we're the Losters from Ephesus in Saginaw. This is Gary. I'm Aline. These are some of the artifacts that we collected on our trips to Africa. Some are from Nigeria, Cameroon, Zimbabwe, and the Gambia. So Gary's going to tell us about some of these artifacts, like this mask, for instance.
These masks represent the Nook period in Nigeria, going back to the 17th and 18th century, which were hand-carved by Nigerians of that time. These replicas are in the Nigerian National Museum currently. These two items here would be from the same time period, except one is brass and one is wood. If you look at the fine details, they were very, very crafty in what they did. These two items were presented to us by the president of Nigeria, Sani Abacha, at the particular time. The elephant tusk is a tusk that was presented to us by the king of Nigeria, to which Aline has a little story to talk about.
They caught us at the border with this. We had the elephant in London, and we had these tusks in our suitcases, and they were going to take us to jail. But Gary happened to have some papers that stated that we could bring it back into the United States. So here they are. Elephant tusks. Real.
All right, thank you, Gary and Aline, and they will be back with us shortly. They have a second video. And now we're going to be going over to Buena Vista Township, and we're going to get a video from Brad and Carlene Bradley, or they may even be live, Brad and Carlene Bradley, and they're going to talk about the Underground Railroad, and they're also going to speak about Harriet Tubman.
Underground Railroad was a network of people, African American as well as white, offering shelter and aid to escaped enslaved people from the South. It developed as a convenience of several different clandestine efforts. The exact date of its existence are not known, but it operated from the late 18th century to the Civil War, at which point its effort continued to undermine the Confederacy in a less secret fashion. What was the Underground Railroad? The earliest mention of the Underground Railroad came in 1831, when enslaved men Twice Davis escaped from Kentucky into Ohio, and its owner blamed an Underground Railroad for helping Davis to freedom. How the Underground Railroad worked? Most of the enslaved people helped by the Underground Railroad escaped from border states such as Kentucky, Virginia, and Maryland. People known as conductors guide the fugitive enslaved people. Hiding places include private homes, churches, and schoolhouses. These were called stations, safe houses, and depots. The people operating them were called station masters. There were many well-used routes stretching west through Ohio to Indiana and the Iowa. Others headed north through Pennsylvania and to New England or through Detroit on the way to Canada. This is the inland.
Harriet Tubman was one of the most courageous women in the world. She was born into slavery in Maryland between 1820 and 1821. Her given name was Anamita Ross, but she changed her name to Harriet Tubman when she got married. As a child, she had a severe head injury when an overseer tried to stop a runaway slave by throwing a 2-pound weight that hit Harriet and cracked her skull, which caused seizures. After escaping from slavery, she rescued more than 70 slaves to freedom until the outbreak of the Civil War. Some years later, Harriet joined the Union Army as a nurse, but acted as a scout and a spy behind the enemy lines. She also promoted women's speeches in Washington, D.C. and New York City. In 1890, Harriet had a brain surgery, but refused to take anesthesia for the operation. Harriet Tubman died on March the 10th, 1913, in Auburn, New York, and was buried in Fort Hill Cemetery with military honors. She acquired her nickname, Moses, because she never failed a single rescue.
All right. Thank you, Bradley. We really appreciate that. If you haven't seen the movie Harriet, it's a great movie, something that I think we all should see. And also, they have a beautiful portrait on the wall with the Underground Railroad and by Harriet Tubman. Next, we're going to go out to Saginaw Township, and we have my wife, Jeanette Brown, and she's going to talk about what she likes to call her investment.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeanette Brown and I attend Ephesus Seventh-day Adventist Church. Antoine Brown, the AY leader, is my husband. So we're going to talk about my black art investment. So this picture is called Stolen Queen. It's by Kevin A. Williams, who is from Chicago, and he's a self-taught artist. Some of his paintings have been featured on Soul Food and Law and Order. But when I first saw this portrait, I had to have it. I didn't care how much it cost, so that's why I say it's my investment. Did a lot of overtime to pay for this, but I think at some point in time, every person should own a piece of black art. So this picture is called Stolen Queen. It's a hand embellished canvas inspired by the history of enslaved Africans. This emotional and compelling work of art depicts a strong African woman, a queen, in chains. Her head is down as she reflects on her former glory as she is overcome by the pain of her current status. Her spirit, however, will not let her give up on life as she is determined to survive and make the best of her current situation. So here she is, Stolen Queen, my black art investment. Love her.
All right, thank you, Sister Brown. And that was Sister Brown with her investment. And next, we are going over to Saginaw again, and we're going to have Brother Danny Watley.
Good afternoon, AY. I'm like Jeanette. She bought one piece. I like collecting pieces of art. So my collection comes from Thomas Blackshear. And the one that you see on the screen here is called The Storyteller. I actually have the piece here at the house, and I didn't want to go through trying to get it to Antoine. So I just found pictures online of The Storyteller. I have two pieces to present today. So The Storyteller, in other words, is called a griot or gurenot. A I have a friend in New York and Brooklyn. His name is Anthony Harmon, and he is an actual living griot. And he travels the country sharing stories, history, and lessons from the past. Griot is a Western African historian, a storyteller, a praise singer, a poet, or a musician. A griot is the repository of oral traditions and is often seen as a leader in their own way, and as an advisor to royalty and different personages, also called a bard. A griot knows everything that's going on in his town or his country or his neighborhood. He or she is a living archive of the people's traditions. Every word spoken is by memory. When we were in Africa and we were in Senegal, we went to an island called Gorée Island. And there we met an older gentleman and a younger guy. You could tell that the older gentleman was the griot. And we met them at the slave quarter, and he would speak the words in French, and then the younger man would interpret it into English. So you knew immediately who the griot was, because he was definitely teaching this younger student how to be a griot. And it was nothing short of amazing to see how the emotion in his face when he was talking about the slaves and what they went through during the boarding the ships and living in the slave castles. It was an amazing experience. And then, so we're going to transition now, Antoine, to what the next figurine is called. It's called the rite of passage. So as the griot ages, he is now passing on the staff to the next generation. So you see the young man that's receiving the staff, and you see the other guy that's standing behind them. Those are the youth, and you have a very young man standing there. And he's teaching them the histories, and he's passing on the knowledge. So here the staff represents power, strength, correction, and comfort. And as you can see, it is to witness something like this had to be nothing short of amazing, to see the older gentleman passing on the truth and the knowledge that he learned to the younger generation. Thank you, Antoine.
All right. Thank you, Brother Danny. Appreciate it. Nice pieces you got there. And now we're going to be going back over to Saginaw Township for my nephew from Heritage High School. We got Caleb Smith.
Caleb, hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. You enjoying life?
Yeah, it's pretty cool right now.
Good, good. So, I hear you're a soccer player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent, excellent. What were you reading there?
Oh, I'm just reading about Pele, the best soccer player to ever live.
He's the best soccer player to ever live?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, wow. Where's Pele from?
Oh, he's from Brazil. You know, the best country to play soccer in.
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard they have some good soccer players.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell me some more about him? When was he born?
Oh, he was born October 23rd, 1940.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a little while ago. So does he still play anymore?
Oh, no, he's in his 70s.
Oh, okay. Okay, so not an active player anymore, but so is he a black man?
Yes, he is indeed.
Oh, a black man playing soccer. Wow. Did that kind of inspire you a little bit to play?
Yes, it did. Seeing that he was the best thing to ever play the sport, you know, I wanted to follow him.
All right, all right. Well, what was he known for?
He was best known for winning 3 World Cups.
Oh, wow. 3 World Cups, and those only happen every 4 years or so?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Did he have any special kind of moves he liked to do?
Not in particular, but I know he had the special goal of scoring in the 96th minute of the finals of the 1974 finals.
In the World Cup?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That's great. I heard he invented the bicycle kick or something.
He did do that too.
Oh, describe a bicycle kick for me.
Just kicking over your head.
Oh, you do like a flip?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, this sounds like a pretty neat dude. What was his name? Was Pele his birth name?
No, you know, some like Edison Arantes do Nascimento.
Oh wow, and so they all shortened all that to Pele, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, do you think Pele inspired a lot of other African American kids and men to play soccer?
I think if he didn't play soccer, a lot of African Americans wouldn't have played soccer.
Oh wow, so he had a big mark. He had a big mark on the game.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate you taking a second out to talk with us about your favorite player. Anything you want to tell us about him as we leave?
He's still alive.
He's still alive. That's important. All right. All right. Well, thanks for your time. I'll continue reading your article. I'm going to head out.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, bye.
All right, so we are at the halfway point. Actually, we passed the halfway point, so we are almost done. We appreciate you guys hanging in there with us, and we're going to keep this train rolling and head over to some inspirational quotes from some famous people, and then we got a few more to do, and we'll be out of here. Thanks.
You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war, that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality.
We declare our right on this earth to be a man, to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary.
Soul has no color, no shape, no form. You have the power to change perception, to inspire and empower, and to show people how to embrace their complications and see the flaws and the true beauty and strength that's inside all of us.
That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
Change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for.
For those who marched, and for those who prayed, and for those who sang and bled, and for those who believed, and for those who died, I stand as 10,000 to the 10th power.
All right, we are headed over to Saginaw Township again for my Aunt Ern Shells. She's going to be live whenever she's ready to go.
Oh, did I move my camera? Okay. Good evening. Antoine, can you see me?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to start with this statue. Well, it isn't a statue, but this artifact. And Antoine, I'm little.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to start with this artifact. It's quite heavy, and it is the picture. I'm still little, and it's the statue of a African woman. I got this from the Gambia. It's quite heavy, and it's showing you how much work that the women in Gambia have to do. Well, African women everywhere, how deep that their labor is. You see this lady here, she's already been out in the garden picking corn, I presume. But look at there, on her back is her baby. Okay, and she's stressed out, and here she is basically grinding the corn in this bowl to make a meal for her children. This other artifact I also received from the Gambia. And this came from Alex Haley's actual village. And this is the carving of a tree that's found in the middle of the village. And if someone had told me that this was a natural occurrence, I would not have believed them, but I saw the tree myself. And the village is called, I think it's Jufrey. And in that particular village, what Alex Haley had done, he had them construct a water fountain in the middle of the village. So everybody in his village can drink clean water. He also had electric for his village. And as you can see, if you can see it, because the picture's still little, Twan, these are different animals, and these animals naturally occurred on this tree. And this is like a monkey. They have a lion or a tiger. There the lion is down here. And then they had like a giraffe and snakes. And so this here was a artifact that I got there. And then when we went to Gabon, this here, I don't know if you can see that picture very well, but you can see it almost every Sabbath when we're in church. And anyway, these are different motifs, and there are a lot of them all around my living room. And what these motifs show is that, look how hard these are women. They're doing the firewood, and they're bringing it in. They're cooking the supper, and they're basically doing all the work. I have a couple of other ones here, and I don't know if you can see it, but if you look real good, because I need for you guys to see this. If you look real good, the lady is carrying water. Over here in this corner is this man got the nerve to be sitting down. On the other one over there, it's the same scene, but the women are cooking and stuff, and he is still sitting down. Okay, so this is something that you see all over the United States and all over the world. It's how heavily that how much work that the women have to do. And so I thank Ephesus and Fairhaven also for allowing me to show you the work of the women and the artifacts from Gabon and the Gambia.
All right, thank you, Sister Shells. And I'm sorry, I tried to make you big. I don't know what happened there. But we're gonna keep the party rolling. And next we are going to my mother-in-law here in Saginaw, and she's gonna talk about some pieces that she has. And that's Molly Wicker.
Hi, I'm Molly Wicker from Ephesus Seventh-day Adventist Church, and I went to Gambia about 20 years ago. And I purchased this painting in the back of a village. They had them like hanging on clotheslines in the village, and we walked through mud and picked out the pictures that we wanted. And I like this one because it was showing actually the village life. So that's the one that I purchased. This statue here I got in the marketplace, and he's called the Thinker. And I brought him all the way back from Africa without anything breaking on him. At that time, you could bring stuff back and they would just throw them in a box and throw them on the plane, but it never broke. And he's got a real thin arm. And so I've had him 20 years and nothing has happened to him. This one also I got in the marketplace, and it's just a guy on a drum, but it was hand carved. So I really like that, and that's the reason why I got that. So Gambia was really nice, and I did enjoy Africa. Ask me would I go back? Yes, I would go back. Ask me would I live there? Absolutely not. It was a culture shock to me. So that was my thing in Africa.
All right, so we're here to back out the Saginaw for Gary and Aline Loster again for the second part of their video.
These are sand statues made in Zimbabwe. And these are made out of sandstones. Look at the detail of these two pieces. You can even see the frowns in their faces, the gray hair on their heads, and these are made out of stone. These are from Cameroon. They're horns of buffalo. And if you look at the detail, look and see the faces that they carved in the buffalo horns.
And periodically they may be used to be drank out of as well.
And these are my favorite. These are hand-painted gourds that I got out of Gambia. And they are Christmas tree ornaments. Look at the detail on these. These are scenes that were in Africa. This is a village, picture of a village. And this is the picture of one of the natives going fishing.
This represents a small representation of artifacts that we have from Africa. There are many more from different locations, from South Africa to Angola to various locations, and also textiles, clothing, material, nice outfits that are made in Ghana, in various other locations in Africa. But it gives you some idea of some of the artifacts and the history behind it. Thank you.
Bye.
All right, thank you, Gary and Aline. So now we come to our last one, and this is my daughter, Kayla Brown. Somehow we got her to do this, and she'd be on the screen, and we'd be followed up with the final song, and that'd be it for AY. We really appreciate everybody joining us today.
Hello everyone. For Black History Month, I chose to talk about Fred Hampton. A lot of you may have recently heard about him from the new movie that came out called Judas and the Black Messiah. If you haven't seen it, you should go see it. So Frederick Allen Hampton was a revolutionary socialist and a Black American activist. He was not only the chairman of the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party, but he also served as the deputy chairman of the National Black Panther Party. So he founded a political organization known as the Rainbow Coalition that included the Black Panthers, the Young Patriots, and the Young Lords as an alliance among the major Chicago street gangs to fight for social change. So in 1967, the FBI recognized Fred Hampton as a radical threat. This is because their biggest fear was Black organization and leadership, and that still is one of their biggest fears. So the FBI gained an informant in exchange for no prison time so that they could gain insight and get close to Fred Hampton. So with the help of this informant, 2 years later in December of 1969, Fred Hampton was sadly shot and killed in his sleep by the FBI and the Chicago Police Department. And Mark Clark, who was also a Black Panther, was also shot and killed. So in 1982, a civil lawsuit was filed, and the family of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark received $1.85 million for the unjust murder and assassination of Fred Hampton and Mark Clark.
All right, so that brings us to the end of AY. I really appreciate everybody coming on and talking to us about or listening to AY. We know there are a lot of Black history artifacts, stories, people we can talk about for days, and they only give us that month. So we want to make sure we continue to do it all year long and not just doing 1 month. We're going to close out with the final video that I have, and that'll bring AY to an end. Remember, the chat is still open, so we can finish chatting. And I got this video from Sabbath School a couple weeks ago. I forgot who had me play it, but it's a 2-minute video to close us out. And you guys have a great weekend, and thanks for joining us for AY.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky.
Let it
resound.
Let it resound.
Loud as the rolling sea.
I like this part right here. Come on.
Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on.
Let us march on.
Till victory is won.
Now we add a little something to it. Just to encourage you. We're going to take you to church later. Let's go.
We'll keep marching, fighting till the victory is won.
To all my brothers out there.
Hold your head up, brother, till the victory is won.
To all my sisters in the struggle.
Keep believing, sister, till the victory is won.
Till that day.
Till that day comes.
Hey.
Let us march on.
To victory.
Till